Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Your Uncle Jim Myers is here, and I'm here tonight with our guest on Kidney Stories 2, Carol Garcia, and um, Carol's date of birth 1/10/59. She's seeking a kidney. We want to make sure we get it to the right Carol. That's why I'm giving you her birth date. She's been on dialysis for 3 years. Her kidney failure was caused by high blood pressure and diabetes. Carol has a very inspiring kidney story that we're going to talk all about tonight. She's a B plus blood type, meaning that for direct donation, she can receive a B or an O transplant. However, her transplant centers both recognize paired donation or a donor swap, so anyone can donate in her behalf. We're also working with Kidney Solutions and the National Kidney Registry. So if someone uh, doesn't match Carol but donates on her behalf through the National Kidney Registry, Carol would get a voucher. The voucher would move her right up to the top of the list. The next kidney that comes along would be Carol's. So keep that in mind. You don't have to be an exact match to help us. She is currently listed at IU Health in Indianapolis, Indiana, and Northwestern Medicine in Chicago. Her donor coordinator is Tracy Perry, and her transplant coordinator is Sharon Gruber at IU. To register to donate, you can call either coordinator at 317-948-8730. That's 317-948-8730. Her transplant coordinator at Northwestern Medicine is George Cervantes. His number, 312-695-0828, 312-695-0828. Now, in the comments to this broadcast, all that information is contained there. All of her transplant coordinators and where you can call to donate, and there's even sign-ups online, the links, so you can sign up online to be a donor. So, and also that information will stream across the bottom of our screen throughout the broadcast. So you have plenty of chances to get the information about Carol. Please share this broadcast for the mother of 3 children and 3 grandchildren, one of which will help us get on the air tonight. Much thanks for that. And if you can, please consider contacting her transplant coordinators to test for a transplant. When you share the broadcast, don't only share it to just your kidney friends, make sure you share it on your personal page too. All right, and she also has a kidney page. Help find a kidney for Carol Aguilar. The link to that is also in the comments, and we'll be streaming throughout the broadcast. So please give a warm welcome to our friend Carol. Carol, how are you tonight?
I'm doing good, Jim. I wanted to let you know something. It's Carol Aguilar. Remember, I changed my name.
Are you Garcia now or Aguilar?
Aguilar. I was
Okay.
divorced from Garcia. So I went
Okay.
maiden name.
I want to make sure I get that right. Did
Yeah.
I state everything else correctly in the introduction?
Yeah.
Okay. So just so I'm clear, you go by Carol Aguilar. That's the name you prefer to be called.
Yes.
Is that the name that you used for your listing as a kidney transplant candidate?
Yes.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about how and where you grew up, your educational experience, and your employment history.
Okay. Grew up in Gary. I am a family of, my sister and I are the only 2 siblings, mom and dad. We were not very wealthy, but the recession time was back then. And we all just learned to live on love and knew how to get along. And it was a rough time, but we had fun. What really hurt was my parents. My parents were hurting because they couldn't give us as much as they wanted to. But as long as we had them, that's all that mattered. My sister and I we made our own puzzles, made our own goldfish games. We knew how to have fun. And then I went to school at Marquette Elementary School in Gary Miller. And then Kennedy King was also there for my middle school. And William A. Wirt High School is was my school. And I went to college, Ivy Tech, and I went to Greek school for 6 years, Sunday school for I believe 9 or 10. We were very big churchgoers. My dad wasn't much of a churchgoer, but seasonal. But my mom was a teacher, and he always told the priest, "Not this is something funny. Oh, I do go to church. I'm outside of the church." Drop the kids off. But other than that, we as far as my education is concerned, that's about the right thing. I was always an A student. When I got a B, I was kind of upset about it, but I studied hard. I'm not a person to sit and flip pages and just consider it done. It took me a tape recorder to tape record all my lessons, and while I'm sleeping, I listened to it, and that's how I studied. And as far as my jobs, I've been working since 9. I felt bad for my family because we didn't have a lot of things back then. Bonnie bread was 10 cents. We couldn't even buy bread sometimes. And my dad was always a helper. He'd help his brothers, everyone fix their cars. There were times that he'd even let them take the car um, so they can have a ride. And this is where we learned all this, my sister and I. But yeah, it was really rough. I was 9 years old selling Christmas cards and birthday cards, wrapping paper. And I made only $1 per order, but it added up, $50 a day I made, and I gave it all to my parents. I didn't have anything to buy other than toys I seen I wanted, but I prefer helping them. And I've been working hard since I was 9. Then I've been waitressing. I opened a bakery when I was 15, 16 years old, before I went to school. And then I even worked at the bakery too. Um, I waitressed, and then I went to own my own business, a restaurant by Notre Dame. Um, it was a really big success. We won Silver Platter Award all the time. And we had like a 2-hour wait practically all the time until construction hit. And then we had to leave because it was really hurting us. And then after that, I went to pathology to work, um, with all kind of laboratory, everything. Um, a lot of times I didn't like how things were handled there. Like patients would come to the window and you're supposed to go and register. And I overheard one girl say, "No, you have to go register." "Well, honey, can you take me?" She says, "No, it's not my job." And I took them. Brought them back, took them back. And because I said, you have to go above and beyond if you care about these patients. Just imagine if this was your mother or father. And he thanked me all the time. And then I decided, well, after that, I went to Behavior Kids South Center. Um, a lot of my students took me out to find out where I'm at. They've overheard through the word of mouth that I need a kidney. I even have one trying to test for one. He just started, um, but I don't know how well that'll go, because he's a 30-year-old guy. And I've had a lot of donors. And but back to my work, then I worked at VU, and I'm no longer there. Everything just started accumulating and everything. I hurt my back, and then after that, my kidney failed. So I couldn't work anyway because I get dizzy. I get really weak. Um, There's times I can't think straight. Like right now, like I said, I just woke up not too long ago, but tomorrow I'll be fine. But Wednesday, I had a bad time. My blood pressure dropped 50 over 40 something. I don't remember. I tried to ask for help, but no one understands unless they're hurting like that and can't feel themselves. And I was trying to wave my hand. I was weak. And so this tech came by. She goes, "Oh my God, the alarm didn't work. Her blood pressure dropped." So they laid me down, everything, gave me more fluids, and I was fine. But you know what? That takes a toll on me. It does. It really does. And if anyone has family members that are on dialysis, they'd understand. And not only that, but I also have my retina on my eye. I was going blind because my blood pressure was 212 over 110 for like 3 years. And I never knew it because I didn't need a doctor. I was fine. But when I started getting weak and I couldn't move my feet, my significant other and my children called the ambulance, took me in. I was in there for 14 days. And that's when they dropped the bomb on me and told me I'm going to need a fistula, a port. The port will have to be for 3 months till the fistula starts working. And that was a nightmare.
Okay. Carol, talk to me. When did you first notice approximately that you were having issues with your kidneys?
Well, I noticed because I'm a go, go, go person. I'm talking retainer wall. I lift bricks. I do everything for my yard. And I was feeling weak and real weak. And I just wanted to sleep. So I thought maybe it's an iron deficiency or vitamin B12 or something. Then I started getting cramps in my leg. I couldn't move them. And then I said, "Oh, it's okay." And then my chest was hurting me. And I didn't understand why because my heart is fine. And so then my chest started rapidly beating and I couldn't move my legs in the bed. And I was yelling, "Help me." And my sons ran in, my daughter, at the time she was here. Um, and my significant other said, "Let's just take her in." "No, you're not moving me. I can't move." And so the ambulance put me in, started an IV, gave me some fluids, and my ankles were very swollen. That's what I noticed, that I was retaining water. And once I got there, they says, "Honey, I don't know if you know, but your blood pressure is 210 over 120." I said, "What?" So they were feeding me something through the IV, I guess, to lower the blood pressure. And the worst time of my life, I never expected this to happen to me, especially, because I mean, I love my family. I love my friends, my sister and her family. That's all I have, really, is my sister, her husband, and her one child, and my kids, and the significant other also. I have a couple of aunts that are living still, and one uncle, and cousins, but they're distant. I mean, they all have their own lives, but and we all have diabetes in the family and high blood pressure. So it's not like one of them can loan me or give me a kidney, should I say? Um, and
Let's your family. Let's start with your children. What are their names?
my eldest son is Robert Garcia. He's 40, going to be 43. My other son is going to be 42, Richard Garcia. And then my daughter is going to be 24. Her name's Nicole Garcia.
Okay, you grandchildren?
My grandchildren, Desmond, he's 15, and he's Desmond Garcia. And Danica is 14, Garcia. And Nevea Garcia is 11. And they're always here. They're waiting
Okay.
for me cooking all the time.
And your significant other, what is his name?
Michael Walker.
Okay. Um, you mentioned that high blood pressure and diabetes cost your kidneys to fail. When did you first start dialysis?
When I first started dialysis was after they uh, discharged me. It was July, I believe July 21st. I went straight to the clinic to get to have dialysis. At that time, I was doing 4 hours a day, 3 times a week, and now I'm down to 3.5 hours. I keep asking him, "Can't you lower it to 3?" It's tearing me up.
Okay. And it's my understanding the date you started, July 21st, 2018. That
Yes,
would be at the Hobart Fresenius
yes,
Dialysis Center.
yes,
Now, you live in Valparaiso, Indiana, correct?
yes.
That's kind of a hike between Valpo and Hobart. Can you talk about how far that is?
It's about a 15 mile drive, a round trip, 15 miles. It's not bad. I just take 130 straight to get to Wisconsin straight. And
Okay.
I'm there, and they are usually all good. Sometimes I have to let them know, hey, no, you're pulling too many fluids. Can't do it. Lower the machine before I cramp and shut it off. I can't do it. My
Mm.
foot would turn up. I mean, literally turn up to a U, arching wise. And I couldn't get it. And then it would sideways turn, and I couldn't get it flat. It was hard and it was painful. So I says, no, I'm not going to wait for the machine to do this to me. Just lower it. Don't take any more.
Okay. I understand. You said you had a rough day on Monday. You also dialyzed today, too. Isn't that correct?
Yes. And today they pulled off 5. I have a
Mhm.
problem with my fluids. Some fluids are stuck to the tissue, in the tissue, and they won't release. So therefore, I have to do what I can do, pull out. And then that's when it starts cramping, that's enough you can take out. And then the next 2 days later, and I watched my fluids really good, whereas I only put 1 kilo. So I tell them, well, let's challenge it, take 3 out. And then I got down more and I felt great. And I honestly think I have at least 4 more kilos to take off that is stuck in my tissue.
Okay. You mentioned that you've had some issues on dialysis. Have you had any other issues or challenges since taking dialysis? And what I'm thinking about are your fistula surgeries and your stents. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yes, my fistula I had to have cleaned out and widened because the needles were hitting the wall. And I had that done 4 times. And you're not all the way out. They cover one arm and they drape your face so they can push everything up there. Yeah, they'd sedate me a little bit, but I feel everything. And I told them, can't you just knock me out? I can't do this. And they said, you just have to relax. We're almost done. Like a half hour each time I go in there. So they told me not to lift anything, push anything with this arm because this is my lifeline.
Okay. So you've had angioplasties
Yes.
because you have narrowing. You had angioplasties. That's where they stick a balloon into your fistula. They blow up the balloon and they widen the artery or the vein in question, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And
And they also put in stents. Can you talk about that?
stents were in my heart.
Okay.
My heart, I had stents, and they said they put 1 stent in my fistula.
Okay. I have a note. You had a mild heart attack in 2009, and they put stents in 2014. Is that correct?
Correct.
How
I,
many stents do they put in your heart?
4, upper and lower of my heart. And I've had 3 angios or 4 angios. And doctor said, why are they asking me to do this to you? Your heart is strong. You need to get this kidney now. you have a history of medical problems with the family. Not that you're going to end up with it, but it is in your genes. And so we need to get this kidney right away and then concentrate on other things.
Okay. We'll get to the family issue, I promise, Carol. What I want to talk to you about now are your retina issues. I understand that you've actually experienced some blindness because of the blood pressure and the diabetes.
Yes, I
Can you
did.
talk to us about that?
Yes. My doctor is Edie's, and he is one of the best. And he's in the retina specialist, and he saved my eye. He showed me how swollen and everything it is. They would put all kind of things in to numb my eye to look in the back. They take I even had an IV so they can take pictures and everything of the retina in the back. And he says you're considered legally blind. And this was 4 years ago. So he goes, now then I says, well, I don't want to be blind. I was wondering why it's so blurry, because my mom was blind in one eye because she let it go. And I told her, Mom, you need to take these shots. She said, no, I'm not having one touch my eye. Well, she went blind. I wasn't going to do that. My mom's eye looked one straight, and the other eye was moving because the one eye was blind. And well, right now I can see to the bottom of the line shots every 6 to 8 weeks, one in each eye. And because of the blood pressure that is swelling the back of my retina, which causes blood coming through. So he says, look, it's all looking good. I'll see you May 10th. So I go back for 2 more shots. And I will,
Okay.
because I am not going blind.
Okay. I understand you've also had cataract surgery
I did.
in both your eyes. Is that correct?
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I didn't understand why it looked like it was a film on my eyes. My eyes, I've never needed glasses in my whole life. And I didn't understand what was going on. So then my eye doctor said, we're going to send you to a retina specialist also, but you need cataract surgery. And I says, what about glaucoma? He goes, well, we're kind of worried about that too. It's nothing to worry about. I said, because it runs in my family. And so it's just one thing after another. I guess I'm a mess, Jim.
Well, if that's the case, Carol, that makes 2 of us. One of the other things that you've mentioned to me is you had cervical spine surgery
Oh, yes.
in 2014. Can you talk to us about that, please?
Well, I couldn't move. I couldn't walk. My back, my mom would sit there. My mom was a health fanatic. My mom would sit there and say, straighten out your back, straighten out your back. I said, Mom, I can't. My back is killing me. And she says, well, we're going to have to go. So I went to a doctor out here, and they're giving me MRIs, CAT scans, everything. And they're not covering what I'm telling them. So I said, no, you need to do, I get the pain from my shoulder all the way down, goes to my back, all the way up to my brain. I said, something's wrong. And he said, no, you got disc this, disc that, L4, L5. I says, no, something is wrong. I can't move. And he said, okay. I says, can you please just do an MRI on my back, on the cervical spine? He goes, oh man, we need to do emergency surgery. You are bad. You're going to end up like Christopher Reeves if we don't do it now. I said, oh no, I'm going for another opinion. So I went to the chiropractor, and he told me, I want you to go to Rush Hospital for Dr. Goldberg. He's the top back surgeon, cervical spine. So I went there, and Dr. Goldberg says, we need to start this surgery tomorrow. We're going to admit you. I says, is it that bad? And what happens if I'm paralyzed? He says, if you continue now, you will be paralyzed. So either way, we have to say nothing's guaranteed, but trust me, you're in good hands. And I did. And he says, I'll tell you what, I will be here for you when you wake up. Well, it's kind of difficult for me to wake up. because I'm a drug-free person. I don't take a lot of narcotics or anything. I don't smoke. I don't do marijuana. I don't do any of that. And he says, man, I waited here for you after surgery because it was a 6-hour surgery. It took me 2.5 to 3.5 hours to wake up. He
Ooh.
says, I promised you I'd be here. And he was. And every other place wanted to send me home as an outpatient. This guy did not. He kept me there for 7 days. And I came out with a neck brace and I was fine. I felt nothing, but I did end up with vertigo. And when they were moving me all around down in the x-ray department, I was screaming and telling them, stop it. You know, this room is turning. I mean, I don't know if anyone had vertigo, but it's a scary thing. Yeah. I'm walking to the side. The room is caving in on me. I have to sit and I'm dizzy from all of that. And it's in control now. They told me to take meclizine when I need, but I haven't taken meclizine for like 2 years now. It's been 2 years that I've been okay. But that's when I got vertigo, was from that back surgery. But my back, my discs in my neck, I have 2 fake ones with 8 bolts in my neck. And when I used to go to the airport, they'd sit there and say, well, you're full of metal. But it really helps. And he said, you may need 1 more surgery, maybe not, but usually people end up with 2 surgeries. And I says, well, I'm not getting any surgery till I get a transplant.
Okay. I just for a second, Carol, I want to give a shout out to a friend of mine, Steve Belcher, who's my favorite producer and kind of got me involved in these broadcasts. So shout out to Steve. Thank you for checking in, Steve. You've been on dialysis now approximately 3 years. Is that correct?
Almost 4 would be July.
Almost 4.
Yeah.
Okay. And one of the things that you've mentioned to me is that you've seen people pass away at your dialysis clinic.
Oh,
Can you talk about that?
yeah. I would ask what happened to, I can't mention the names, but so-and-so. And they said, oh, he passed. I says, what? What about the other lady? And oh, she passed too. What about the priest? He passed too. Oh, well, I got to pinch myself because I want to make sure I'm still here. I was scared. I'm scared. Every time I go there, I get a lot of anxiety. I never had anxiety till I ended up with dialysis. But I get nervous when I see needles. When I know I'm going under, I just get nervous. But I come
Okay.
out.
That's great. And it's my understanding that you are currently seeking a kidney transplant. Is that correct?
Yes.
And your friend Alberta, by the way, is saying hello.
Okay. Hi, Aunt Birdie.
Um, so I have you listed currently at IU Health in Indianapolis and at Northwestern Medicine in Chicago. Your donor coordinator is Tracy Perry, and your transplant coordinator is Sharon Gruber at IU. Scrolling through the broadcast now to register to donate for either coordinator at IU, you call 317-948-8730. That's 317-948-8730. And that information is also in the comments. Your coordinator at Northwestern Medicine is George Cervantes. His number is 312-695-0828, 312-695-0828. We want to help our friend Carol out, so please share the broadcast. Please share this information where people can contact her transplant coordinators and possibly make a transplant. And if you find it in your heart to consider donation, we have online links that you can go to and fill out and start that process at both IU and Northwestern. And those are streaming across the bottom of your screen now, and they're also in the comments. And again, just to make sure that we're getting the kidney to the right Carol. Your name for kidney transplant is Carol Aguilar, and your date of birth is January 10th, 1959. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. What is your estimated wait time for a transplant?
6 to 8 years, they said.
That's a long time to wait.
Yeah,
And
I won't make it that long. I know it. It's taken a toll on me. But
the
I'm fighting.
dialysis is taking a toll
Yeah,
on you.
yeah. But I'm fighting for my kids and my family. Um, I have some good friends. I mean, Alberta, she took me to the hospital. I have a bunch of them that are willing to give me a hand.
Yeah, I wanted to say something to the group too. When I prepare a broadcast, one of the things I do is I look for pictures on my subject's Facebook or through Google where I can show people what my uh, interviewee looks like. And when I look at Carol's pictures, she's always with people. She's with her family. She's with her friends. She's with her children. She posted a photograph today with her and her son. She's with her grandchildren. I think I could find only about 2 pictures, Carol, where you're by yourself. Most of the time, you're with family and friends. Is that a
Yeah.
fair statement for me to make? You're a very family-oriented person.
Yes, I am.
Okay. And we created a kidney page for Carol on Facebook. Find a kidney for Carol Aguilar. And the link to that is in the comments. And if I can get it to scroll, there it is. Currently scrolling across your screen. So, share the broadcast, share the kidney page. Let's try to find somebody to help our friend. Can you please describe for us the efforts you have made to try and locate a kidney donor?
The efforts?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I had approximately 10 friends that wanted to donate. Found out, and the significant other tried also, but he had high blood pressure, and the computer kicks him right out because they know he has high blood pressure, can't do it. The majority of my family has diabetes and high blood pressure. Um, these friends of mine had high blood pressure or diabetes or a remission of cancer. They couldn't do it. And I'd say one of them that was trying to give me his kidney, because he's a marathon runner also, um, he died. He did not know he had cancer. So he couldn't make it. And he was my perfect man. And then there's another guy, Gilbert. He wanted to donate a kidney to me also. And it didn't work out. I don't know why they didn't pair him, because that's what he thought too. But he's a very healthy person, and he wanted me to have that kidney. And that didn't work out. And then I had someone from Indianapolis, I believe it was a 30-year-old, that died. And the doctor called me in, Dr. Goggles from Indianapolis, set his secretary or nurse practitioner, to call me. And she said, "This is your window, 4-hour window." Well, I was 20 minutes before I got there. And they says, "I'm sorry, but the kidney is sick. We can't put it in you." So we turned around and went back. And then I was called about 2-3 weeks ago from Northwestern at dialysis. They called me and said, "We have a kidney. She's a cardiac arrest patient, but are you okay with that?" I said, "I am okay." And so then they called me back. I got all excited. Once I got off of dialysis, they were going to do the surgery at 2 o'clock that day. I would have been home by 9 to pack up at Northwestern. And then before I left dialysis, they called back and said, "I'm sorry, you were admitted a week ago in the hospital due to chest pain." I said, "That was from coughing a lot. I was nonstop coughing." Um, and They said, no, we can't do that. We have to take precautions. So you need to go to your cardiologist and take another stress test or come to Northwestern. And I said, oh my God. So I went and did another stress test. My cardiologist wants me to get this kidney. So he pulled me in the next day. And I got in there, did my stress test, 3 hours long. And he says, get out of here and go get a kidney. Your heart is stronger than. And I said, well, what do you want me to do? Kill someone? I mean, I can't do that. He goes, well, those people should have called me. I would have told them there's nothing wrong with your heart. So then I went to Northwestern. Alberta is the one who took me there. And that doctor said, I don't understand why they didn't call the doctor. You know, you're great. Everything's good. So I'm like, God, I hope I get this kidney fast. She says, you're back on the list. Don't worry. Well, I'm notating everything. So everything is so happy ending. But when it's up to get a kidney, something always goes wrong. And I just look at it this way. Maybe God's saving the best kidney for last for me.
Okay, so we've had a few false starts then, Carol.
Yeah.
All right. I want to point out to the group, Carol and I have been friends for a while now. Carol has a big heart. She's constantly doing things for other people. Can you tell our audience about some of the things that you have done for the people that you take dialysis with?
I feel bad for them. Some of them can't get out of the car, and dialysis center says that the rule is they can't leave the building to help anyone. So I would go out there, this one guy, to help him out of his car with a cane. I'd grab his bag because a bag is your blanket and everything that you need. So I'd hold his blanket, his bag, and his pillow. I'd help him out, give him his cane. He'd hang on to me. I says, hang on to me now. And he'd hang on to me, and I'd walk him to his chair and sat him down. I had his bag with my bag and my pillows too. So when I went in, I would give them my bag. Then there's another lady. Well, now she's got a walker. And I call her Mama because she's like 83 years old. She's one strong lady. But she's so happy when I go to her car and help out of the car. And they think I want gifts or something. That's nice of them. But I don't want anything. She gave me a gift card and a this. And, you know, I says, no, I just like being here that I can help you. And, but everyone, and then the text there said, well, Miss Carol, kind-hearted, you need to take care of yourself to get in here. We'll take care of the patients. I says, well, you guys can't go outside to get them. They need help from outside, you know. And so then she had the walker, so I didn't have to help her. So I helped another guy, and he just died in his sleep about a week ago. So it hurts me because I'm growing with them. I mean, they're like family.
Your clinic mates.
And I hope I'm not the next one. That's all I keep pinching myself. I said, oh, I'm here still. I'm here.
Well, that's why we're here tonight, Carol. We want to get the word out for you. And you know your Uncle Jim's pulling for you, right?
I know, and I appreciate everything you're doing, Uncle Jim.
Okay. We mentioned earlier you're very family oriented. Can you tell us about some of the things that you do for your children and your grandchildren?
Oh, the question is, what do I not do for them? They're always here, no matter if it's 10 or 11 o'clock at night, asking me to cook for them. Whatever they want. I'm the one that has made vacations possible for them. I just took them to Kalahari, my sons and my grandkids and my significant other. We had a good time for 3 days. And that was rough. not being on dialysis for those 3 days. But I did take dialysis Thursday instead of Friday. And, but it's still long. But I only put 2 kilos on, so that was pretty good. But I took him to Kalahari. I taken him to Walt Disneyland 2 weeks after my cervical spine surgery because I promised him we're going to Florida, and I never break my promise. And it was rough with my neck, but I was okay. And I just to see those smiles on their face made me okay. As far as my parents too are concerned, they've never been on vacation but twice. I've taken them all over. So as we both shared taking care of them both and traveled them everywhere. Their first flight was Vegas, and we renewed their vows with Elvis Presley. They were so happy. We had the limo and everything. And I liked seeing them. My dad had open heart, and he's looked at this 91, 98 Oldsmobile. He wanted it brand new. He's never owned a brand new car. I was the one that always bought him cars so he can have a car. And this one he wanted. Back then it was like $28,000. And he ended up with open heart. So when I went there to pick him up, I went to the Oldsmobile dealer and I asked, is this Oldsmobile still available? Yes, it is. Well, I want it. So I took it to go pick up my dad. And my dad goes, you bought my car? And I said, it's for you, Dad. And he was so happy. That was his only brand new car he ever owned. I mean, usually I used cars. But and then my back to my grandchildren and my kids. I've traveled my sons and my daughter to tournaments, recitals, pageants, football games, because they were in football, track, dance. I mean, I was a busy lady, and then come home to make sure I had dinner for the whole family. I worked, and so actually my grandkids, their vacations were always with me and their dads. We went everywhere together. I want to have memories always. And like the other day, my son, this one boy came that I had in my class. He says, yeah, your mom made a big impact on me. And I wouldn't be the man I am today. In which that touched me, you know, because he came today with his 2 kids. And needless to say, his 2 kids, one of them went to school with my grandson. He's going to school. And he told my son and everyone that your mom was the best teacher ever. And then the things he told me at the table here, I said, you really paid attention? He said, yeah, you always said, don't make war, love everyone, and be kind. And I said, yes, I did. And this young man grew up in a bad part of Chicago. And I'm very proud of him. He turned out to be a good boy, a good young man. He's 30. But yeah, my kids, they have not, I mean, other than me, I mean, I even had little problems with them doing math. They hated math. So I would be doing dances and everything. And, you know, I'm going to reach their level somehow so they can understand me. So, you know, back then they wore those Jinko jeans. I like that. That's gang related. I didn't like that. Hats turned around. So I put a pair of their jeans on to go to the school meeting. Well, they all knew me. And with the hat turned around, and they sat there and looked, Mom, you're embarrassing me. Yes, that's what I'm saying. I want you guys to wear clothes that fit. Now, I'm not going to change this outfit until you guys stop dressing like that. You guys can get yourself killed. This is a bad world that we live in. And we need more kind people. And hopefully that'll happen.
Okay. You mentioned teaching. When you're talking about teaching, you've actually worked with students to help them with their Greek. Is that correct?
Yeah, in the cafeteria at VU, they would come looking for me. and sit there and talk to me. And they were amazed at how I knew the Greek alphabet. Within 3 seconds, I recited it. And they said, "Can you say that in English?" But
Okay.
whatever I did help on, I did help them. I made time. On my lunch break, I sat with them. After work, I punched out and I helped them.
All right. You mentioned that you lost both of your parents to high blood pressure and diabetes. There's a story that you tell about driving your father to Chicago in a snowstorm. Can you tell us about that, Carol?
Yes. I was 13. We lived in Miller, and my dad's doctors were all in Chicago. And it was Louis A. Weiss Memorial, which is off of Lawrence Street. And we would go down there all the time for his checkups. All of a sudden, I came home from school and I'm seeing him crotched. I said, "What's wrong, Dad?" "I don't know, Carol. My heart's hurting me. I can't breathe." So I said, "All right, Dad, we're getting you in the car." So my mom's mom, my dad's mom, my mom, my sister, my dad, and me all piled up in the car to drive in 3 feet of snow on the skyway with visibility 0. I was half scared out of my head. But my 2 grandmothers, they trusted me. They didn't care. My mom too, they trusted me. I was going like 10, 15 miles an hour, but I got him there just in time. And he was 38 years old. And there's nothing I wouldn't do for my family. I saved his life.
Okay. And when you were driving this car, you were all of 13. Is that correct?
Yes. I was not going to let him die. Nobody could take him. Nobody wanted a chance the weather. And we stayed at the hospital till he was okay. And he just kept patting me on my shoulder that, "Thank you, honey. Thanks for saving my life." And I said, "Dad, I wouldn't know what to do without you."
Okay. You have mentioned to me that you took your grandmother to Greece,
Yes.
to the country of Greece.
Yes. We
Can
went
you
to,
tell us a little bit about that?
yeah. She was crying one day in her room and she had oxygen. And Dr. Scully was her doctor. So we went to Dr. Scully and asked, "Can she go to Greece?" "Absolutely not." And my grandmother said, "Forget it. I'm going." Well, she packed her bags and she goes, "I'm ready, Carol. When are we going to leave?" I said, "Okay, I'm going to take you, but we better get all your medicines, everything together." And I took her there and we got off in Athens. Athens, we had to take a ship, 6-hour ship to our island, uh, Pato. And then from Pato, we took a speedboat, a half-hour speedboat to get to Andiparo, which is her island, and in the Mediterranean Sea. And she was so happy. She didn't even wear oxygen. She didn't need anything. The air was so fresh. We went to her niece's house because they have the hotels on the end of the Mediterranean Sea. Gave us a hotel room, and I'm telling you, she wanted to go. There's no cars there. You walk everywhere on the island, and or a donkey. Well, anyway, she wanted to go to this church on the most steepest hill you ever did see, way up there. Well, she says, "Get on the mule with the 2 kids." My kids were 4 and 3. And we got on the mule. And I says, "What about you?" "Oh, no, I'm walking up there." She put the cane on the donkey with me. And she walked that steep hill to that church. We stood up there for an hour. I says, "Please get on a donkey so we can go down." She did, but she walked straight up there to that church. Well, she was very happy to stay there. She didn't want to leave. I let my job know. They were remodeling anyway, so that was perfect timing. And she didn't want to come back. She kept staring out from the boat. I says, "What's wrong?" She was crying and waving to everyone. She didn't want to leave. She goes, can you please leave me here to die? I says, I can't. What about your daughter, your only daughter? And she says, okay, I'm going home for her and you guys. So she did. 2 weeks later, she got really sick there. And so I lived in Chesterton at the time with my two boys. And I would come back and forth to Miller to bathe her, sit with her till my mom and dad got home, and cook for her, cook for my mom and dad, because she would always cook dinner for them all. So I did everything she needed to do, stuck her in the bathtub, changed her sheets, fed her. It was a rough ride, but you know what? I'd do it again because it's just love. They taught us love.
I have a note, something about you putting an addition on your house.
I did for my
Can you
mother.
tell us about that, please?
Yeah, my mom is a spoiled brat. And she says, I'm not staying in this room. It's too small for me. What? It's 20 by 14, Mom. It's a big room for you. She said, no, I would like to have my own place. So I went and got a second mortgage, and my other son also helped me with it to add on to this house. So I added, she wanted 3 bedrooms, a living room, a kitchen, a utility room, her own furnace, her own air condition. Yeah. And we took 2 men and a truck to get all her furniture from her house in Valpo because we sold it. And she moved with me. And her main master bedroom was connected to my master bath. And there's a door there if she wanted to close it or what. But, oh, look, my furniture all fits perfect. Oh, Mom. But never wanted her to pay rent or anything. I did it all. I cooked for her, did everything. And, oh, she'd buy me a dishwasher here. Then she's seen the couch that I really liked. But, I'm okay with my couch. She went and bought it all. And,
Okay.
yeah, because she says, no, she goes, I said, Mom, you need to buy Connie stuff too. So she did, because that's all they have is two daughters and the grandkids. So that's what I did for her. So she had an 1,100 square foot home.
Thelma says hello, by the way.
Okay. Tell Thelma I said hello.
Okay. You helped your dad before he passed too. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, my dad, hard-headed man. He was so independent. He didn't want anyone to help. We got him a scooter because his legs were very weak. And he had 6 bypasses in his heart, a defibrillator also in his heart, also diabetic, insulin diabetic. No high blood pressure with him, but diabetes, yes. And he never told anybody how he's feeling. He'd lay in bed. I said, no, Dad, get up. We need to move a little. And so my sister or I would be there putting him in the wheel. He liked the boats, which I don't. But that was some kind of entertainment for him. But I come by there, cut his grass, painted their house. I cooked food with them because my dad would always say, oh, your mother can't even make rice. I feed it to the birds and the birds run away. So I said, Dad. But anyway, he waited for my sister and I to come around and help him out. But he was nothing like my mother. My mother asked for help. My dad never did. He didn't want anybody to cater to him. And he was on oxygen and everything. And he left my house. He came to my house. This is very sad. He sat in this chair that I'm sitting in now and said, I came for your famous cheeseburger. I said, okay, Dad, I'll make you one. Don't you want to come to the graduation party? Because he made me go to the graduation party of his oldest sister, but I was worried about him and my mom. He drove here by himself with my mother. And I said, no, 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 Dad, I'm going to drive you back home. No, you go to the graduation party. And I said, well, and he sat in his car, and I was in the mine with my daughter and my husband at the time. And he kept staring at me. And I came out there. I said, Dad, do you want me to drive you? No, I just wanted to look at my beautiful daughter. I wish my other daughter was here, but she was on vacation with her family. But anyway, he sat there and said, I want to thank you for making me be an owner of the restaurant with you and for taking us everywhere. I have the two of the best daughters in the world. And I said, Dad, we have the best parents. You taught us. You and Mom taught us. And he left. I was at the graduation party. I get a phone call from the neighbor. Your dad died in the chair in front of his car. I said, what? He just left my house a half hour ago. So I dropped everything, flew out there, called my sister in Santa Claus, Indiana. She drove as fast as they could to get here. They were trying to revive him. He was gone. My son, Rob, came to this hospital right away. My son, Richard, everybody was there. And I couldn't let go of him. I mean, I just seen him and I knew I shouldn't have went, but he forced me to go. And he knew he was dying because he was so happy, but he was gray, and that's a liver. So I didn't like his color, and I wasn't comfortable to leave. But he said, go please for me. That's my eldest sister. I want you to be there for all of us. So I did that for him. That was his last wish.
Okay. Your mother had kidney issues too. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yes. My mother had high blood pressure since she was 10. Has always been on medicine for a long time. And then she ended up with diabetes. Now, this is a lady that's 5'7", 110 pounds. No fat, nothing. She's very healthy, but the high blood pressure. And, well, we didn't know what was going on with her because all of a sudden, when she was coming down the stairs, she fell on her head on concrete in my driveway. I ran out of the car to try to help her. And I said, come on, Mom, we got to go and make sure you don't have no internal bleeding. I want to check your head out. Oh, I'm fine. Well, no, you're not fine. We're going to check it out to be safe. And, well, she was fine. And then she passed out again in the house on the floor. I heard a big bump. And we have all these lights that go on, motion lights in the house for her, because she was blind in one eye from diabetes. And so we took her, and the doctor said she got renal failure, final stage. What? My mom is healthy. And so they put a fistula in her, everything. She only lasted 3 years. And the year before she died on Christmas Eve, 2015. And the doctor said something, and she's screaming to my sister and me, am I dying? Because she was aspirating. And so she goes, I want to live, Carol. I want to live. She says, do anything you have to do so I can live. So we put a feeding tube in her too. And the quality of life for her wasn't good, but she wanted to come home. And she was too bad to come home. So the doctor said, we need to put her in the hospice. She heard that. She goes, no, I want to go home. And that was the worst thing in my life. And she died Christmas Eve at 9:00 p.m.
All right. I know you're proud of your grandchildren. You wrote me a note about your granddaughter. Can you talk about the things your grandchildren do that have made you proud?
Oh, my Desmond, he always helps me out. he's my only grandson. And whatever I need in the house, he does it for me. If I need a pill or something, I'm cramping, he runs for me. Um, he's not a big cook, but he tries to cook. And Danica, she does the same thing. Nevaeh's 11, and she made me a banana foster that I couldn't have. Oh no, Grandma, I put 11 bananas in because I know you like them. Oh my God, honey, I eat this, but I'll take a sip. It's not good for the kidneys, but she didn't know. So, I tried a lot, but my grandson always would say, Grandma, did you take your binder? Because sometimes I'd take it after I eat. If I forget, and he'd reach in my purse and get the binder. And um, they just do everything I ask them to do. Sometimes there's a fight, but they do for the most of it. And sometimes you get a lip here and there, but they're 15 and 14,
Yeah.
They think they know everything. So anyway.
Well, your grandson got us on the broadcast, the practice broadcast in this one. So
Yes, he did. And
thank you, Desmond. What are the things that you look forward to doing after you get a kidney transplant?
Well, I want to continue to be who I am, helping. And I would like to, whoever needs help, you, anyone, the church, because the church helped me out a lot, my church, St. Iakovos. And
Greek Orthodox Church, correct?
correct. And I would like to go back to work to be productive, not a full time, just to feel good about myself that I'm accomplishing something.
Okay. All right. We're in the home stretch here, Carol.
Okay.
Is there anything else that you would like to discuss before we close the conversation for this evening? Is there anything I forgot to mention that you think is important?
No, I think you covered it all. I just hope this will bring me a donor soon. There are times I wake up that I don't want to go to dialysis, but my son, Robert, he comes in and says, no, you're going, get up. You're leaving, going. We can't lose you, Mom. And then my son, Richard, the second son, he holds everything in. Robert holds it in too, but I happened to go in there because his daughter came to me and said, Daddy is crying. And I said, why? So I went in there acting toughy so he could know I feel good, even though I was feeling bad, really bad. I said, look, I'm fine. Don't worry, Mom. Please don't let us go. Fight, Mom. Fight. You looked horrible in there. Quit acting like you're fine. I said, I am fine. But if something happened to me, my kids and my grandkids, they're going to take it really rough. I think the significant other will too. I
think you will too.
I don't think he'll find anyone like me.
And I got news for you. Your friend Jim is going to take it rough too.
Oh, thanks, Jim. But I do have my cemetery, everything ready. I have everything in a binder for my kids, and so they don't, because they're going to be out of it if something happens. And I'm not talking as if I'm going to die tomorrow, because I'm fighting. I feel good. I'm healthy. Well, as healthy as I can be. And I still do the things I do. I cook. I do outside work. Well, now I don't because it's bad weather. But come springtime, I'll be doing a lot of things again in the yard. But I'm a tough person. And I don't know why God put me here, but there's got to be a purpose. And why I'm going through all this, there must be a purpose. And I don't know what it is, because I tried living the right way that I was taught.
Your friend Connie says hi, by the way.
Hi, Connie. That's another friend too. She lives in Texas. And Connie, Sandy, Alberta, Sylvia, Thelma, they're always there for me, no matter what. They've always backed me up in everything. We've had such good times growing up. And now we all have busy lives with our husbands or our kids, or it's not like it used to be back then, 9 to 5 job, let's go visiting so and so.
Connie says you're sisters.
Yes, we are. We are. We might not have the same blood, but hey, we've been there through thick and thin, all of us. You know, it's not the 3 musketeers. We have maybe 6 musketeers.
Okay.
We've always been happy. They have the same family. They grew up in the same family like I did, surrounded by love. Bertie, Connie, Sylvia, Thelma, and all too. We all grew up together. And I have another friend too, Joanne. We grew up together. But, you know, you have acquaintances out there, but these are true sisters here. They check here.
Connie's saying to me, she says, I really am her sister. I'm Connie Webb.
Oh, that's my sister. Okay. I thought it was Connie Cox. Yes, that's my only sister. And she's always been, always. After work, she comes. And I told you, she had 2 open hearts 1 week and a brain aneurysm. And she's got stents and foils. But she's going because we're strong. We're strong and we continue to beat it. We're fighters.
Your cousin Joseph says hello too.
Oh, hi, Joe. Yep, Joe checks in on me too. I stood up in his wedding when I was 15. But
all right, well, it's just like you said. You have so many family members.
Yeah.
And friends.
Yep. A lot.
And I just want them to know that the broadcast is going to be replayed, and we'll share the replay. So if they missed part of it or they want to pass it around, I'll make it available.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Carol, I so appreciate you coming on with us and talking to us and telling us your story. And my fingers are crossed that sometime soon you're going to find that person to donate a kidney and save your life.
I hope so. Thank you, Mr. Jim. You are a lifesaver all the time. Every time I call you, or you answer your call so fast, and you're always helping everyone. And I feel honored for you to help me.
I appreciate that so much.
I appreciate everything, and may God bless you big time.
May God bless you, Carol. All right, I'm gonna let you go, and I'll gotta wrap up the broadcast. Okay.
Okay.
And we will talk soon, my friend.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Up. All right. So let's talk about what's going on in the future. April 8th, Khadijah Bai is going to join us. She's also seeking a kidney, has an interesting story. April 15th, my friend Lisa G is going to be with us. Lisa's struggling lately, but she has an interesting kidney story. My friend Steve Bundridge, April 22nd. Steve had a kidney transplant with Kidney Solutions, and he's doing a lot of advocacy things that we're going to talk about. On the 29th of April, Dr. Cash and Dr. Prasad are going to talk to us a little more about kidneys and insomnia. So you're going to want to watch this space because we've got interesting things that are going on. And I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.